Hey there folks, Chumpesk here, bringing another audio commentary, and actually the first ever audio commentary with one live viewer, and that's very exciting. And the reason that Jane is here, Greg, do you want to be Greg? Yeah, she didn't want her name on the internet. I messed that up pretty quickly. Well, the reason that Greg is here today is that we were having a sociological discussion over lunch, and we've both placed wagers now, and I was thinking, where on earth could I find about 1,000 people on whom I could conduct a giant experiment? And don't be worried, folks. You won't be physically injured in any way, or at least not at my hand. But the wager is this: I've found a great game, and the only reason I say it's great is because it's going to be playing off race. I haven't actually seen the game myself, but certainly when I posted some of those before, they got sort of twice as many views as any other game. So certainly they're very popular among you folks. It's a grubby playing elf game on Twisted Meadows, and it was played a couple weeks ago. And I will record that game as an extra game. So in addition to sort of all the other games that I cast, if no one mentions this wager, so basically it's the easiest thing to win. All you have to do is just not mention that this wager in any way in the comments, not mention the experiment, any of that. If even one of you sort of mentions it, then I won't be recording that game. I'll still do my normal number of games. You won't get this one bonus game though, and I think sort of you'll all lose out a bit. So it's really sort of it's quite a heated debate. I'll be honest. I'm definitely right. I won't say which side I'm on, but it just it's really simple for you guys to win this. Simpler than one of those phone quizzes on, well, assuming it's not ITV or something. That was a really kitsch reference. I'm sorry if you don't get that because you're not in the UK, but yeah, it's basically just don't mention this wager in the comments. Don't make any reference of the sort of the reward, anything like that, and you'll get a free extra game casted by me. And I think we'll do that once the video has had 1,000 views. If there's been no mentions, then I'll record that extra game. That's all you have to do to win this game. And but just one person can ruin it, so hopefully no one will. And anyways, back to the game now. It is Hawk versus RohJinWook. RohJinWook obviously, and we made Fox now. That's obviously very exciting in itself, and he's running his first footman to go and harass, but meanwhile both sides are just creeping. You'll notice that I don't think Hawk did that. Actually, yeah, Hawk has his one footman here, and his second footman just arrived now as well. They'll both be creeping out this second camp as well, getting level 2, and then you often see some sort of harassment of the bases, because it's quite easy to, as human, to do that. And I'm not actually sure how this game is going to turn out, just because I want to cast the game as soon as possible, just so I could start this bet. But certainly it's RohJinWook playing human, which is always really a lot of fun. Unfortunately no blood mage, but in human mirror that's even less viable than in something like versus orc, so a bit of a shame, but oh well. And meanwhile, Hawk actually probably going to harass now, which is probably the better choice than what RohJinWook's doing now. Is he's creeping, possibly for the expansion. We'll have to see. He hasn't started his tier 2 tech yet, so it looks like he is actually going for this expansion now, and he's going to be really hurt by this harassment. Even though the Archmage is only level 2, you can, with water elementals, you can really do a lot of damage, even against an arcane tower. And Hawk immediately losing all his mana on his Archmage, but that's not an issue because he already has water elemental out, and RohJinWook should really switch focus now off the Archmage with this tower to one of the water elementals, preferably the newer one. And RohJinWook not back from creeping, just coming back now, not even level 3, so I'm not sure that creeping was worth it, to be honest. He does have a couple of nice items. He has ring plus 3, which sort of is better than a ring plus 2, I guess, and finally hitting level 3 now, so this is where RohJinWook should be able to chase him out a bit, and thankfully RohJinWook hasn't started his tech yet, so he will be able to rebuild all the peasants he's lost. And you can see that there were quite a few kills there from Hawk, because Hawk was basically flush on level 2, a bit above before, and he's now halfway to level 3, and his tech should be about halfway as well, yeah. So really not going too well for RohJinWook at this point. 2 arcane towers going up for Hawk, because Hawk knows that there's a very good possibility that RohJinWook will counterattack now, and RohJinWook actually aggroing the creeps in the hopes of getting a bit of focus down there on the Archmage, but instead actually just getting one footman ensnared, and he will now be running straight into Hawk's base, and Michael really needs to take out a lot of these peasants now. Both these arcane towers are now up, and they're going to be pretty tricky to take out. You will need to summon a water elemental as soon as possible, and actually probably stay out of range, so he can try and get a second one out. Michael going for this farm now. I apologise, I've been calling him Michael and RohJinWook interchangeably, and I assume that you know that he is Michael. that RohJinWook is Michael. But Hawk actually counterattacking now. It's probably a better choice, but RohJinWook still hasn't started attacking. This could be really, really bad for him, because he really does need to get this started at this point. And looks like he is going to lose at least a couple militia here. And actually, Hawk doing a good job there, keeping his footmen alive but at low health, and they can just go back to the healing fountain. But Michael doing a much worse job actually, and it's a bit of a shame here. He is going to kill a couple footmen off here, but already at tier 2 Hawk. So that's going to be really tricky for him to try and win, for Michael to win, or to try and win this at least. And he's now losing all his mana off these Archmage as well. Probably will pick off these couple low militia and then just try and get out of there. But really at this point he hasn't even started his tech yet. He's really low on lumber peasants. He really needs to get them built, maybe get a lumber mill up so he can get his lumber a bit quicker and then get out of here. And fortunately Michael has double farm here, so it's going to be a bit tricky for Hawk to actually get into the base with his Archmage. And these really low footmen actually being attacked by the creeps here, because they were aggroed by Michael wherever he is. And Michael now just going to be healing up. Actually, unfortunately has to attack the creeps first. And what's happened? Ooh, some very low footmen here. They could be killing. This could be very good for Michael if he scouts it, but I don't think he has. He must have been suspicious as to why those creeps followed him out. I'm not exactly sure what happened there as to who aggroed first and stuff, but he must be very suspicious. And Hawk now running back in, clearly not realizing that that Michael was there and being forced to run straight back out. And I think the dragon got the kill there, so no bonus experience for RohJinWook, but he's pretty close to level 4 at this point. But a panda being picked up for Hawk now, and this is really important. That's going to do so much harassing damage. No tier 2 yet for Hawk, just because he has no gold. He had to spend it all on that panda. He has to rebuild loads of footmen, he has to get loads of farms up. He only has 5 spare supply at the moment, so really before he can get any arcane towers up he has to go for quite a bit of tech. He could go for tier 3, but that would be a bit risky. And Michael just started his tech now. He's so far behind, I'm not sure if he can come back from this, to be honest. I'm sorry, this is a bit of a one-sided game maybe, but actually Michael doing a good job of killing some farms off as well. Supply locking Hawk now. He is rebuilding one farm, but that'll only give him 2 spare food to build sort of basically an extra footman with. And so Hawk now breaking into the base of RohJinWook, managing to take down one arcane tower, but losing all of the man on his panda. You can see he's done a couple breath of fire, and now TPing in actually, because Michael just has so many footmen. And this is actually not a great TP, because he's going to immediately lose one footman, and Michael now hitting level 4 in his Archmage. I'm not sure whether or not he'll be able to actually capitalize on this or not. Because he just, as soon as those sorks get out, something like that, that'll just be the end of it for him, surely. But, and level so we're at 3-1 compared to 4 for Michael now. So Michael really needs to get his tech finished and get his tier 2 started. His tech is sort of 3/5 the way done, and now rebuilding farms, which he had lost, and he is supply locked as well actually. So both sides are unable to produce anything at this point. And Michael trying to move in, trying to take out these towers, but there's just too many militia. The panda's back up to has a breath of fire and uses it immediately. Obviously you just basically want to use it as quickly as you can. And Michael now being forced to run away, losing one footman in the process of running away. And his Archmage actually I'm not sure what Michael's Archmage is doing here. He'll probably need to get out of here pretty quickly. Loses his remaining mana, and I'm not sure where he's going. He is finally getting out of here though. And we are finally seeing an Arcane Sanctum going up for Hawk really, really late. He really, Michael did a great job there of stopping him actually managing to build up his economy, and that was really, really nice play there by Michael. A couple active peasants actually, but Michael gets straight on top of that. And it looks like Michael was maybe doing some shopping. No, he might have just been around the shop. Obviously he would have had to aggro the creeps, which would have been a bit risky, just to buy like an inlawn pot or something. And a water elemental was just in Hawk's base, but Hawk's arcane towers killed it off quite quickly, obviously. And Michael about to lose one more footman here, but obviously footman. Actually, Dragon gets another kill. But a really, really nice play there by RohJinWook, and putting up a Arcane Vault and a Arcane Sanctum as well. So finally actually caught up in tech pretty much. We'll have to see whether or not he goes for a panda himself. No, actually going for a Mountain King. I think that's probably a better choice at this point, because you have such a high level Archmage. You can just sort of spam those bolts. You can afford to train your Mountain King up solo. You don't need to wait for your you don't need to creep up your Archmage as well on the creeps, so you can really get a high level Mountain King. And a high level Mountain King is just so powerful, especially if it comes to Breaker Wars, in which case the panda isn't actually that useful. Panda is really much more useful in the early stages in that situation. And Michael now sort of picking up the residual creeps, but he must have realised this wasn't going to go well. He's going to be able to pick off this one Ogre Magi. Ooh, no, Breath of Fire steals it very nicely there, but done there by Hawk. And Michael does pick up the item though, and Michael's going to lose a lot of units here. Could he pop a... Yeah, he pops a Scroll of Healing just in time, and actually being forced to... and that Scroll of Healing really has brought up his footman so much that he is able to sort of chase away Hawk a bit. And Hawk, I don't think... yeah, his Panda's really low now, and that Mount King comes straight into this fight, goes straight for a bolt on that Panda. Panda really low, down to 100 hit points. Mount King chasing down... doesn't quite get there. He gets a bit blocked by his own footman, and actually he was always, I think, above 70 hit points, so he wasn't going to get the kill. But Michael now going for the bolt on the Archmage. I think he's just trying to get the heroes low. First priests are just coming in now for Hawk though, so the focus obviously isn't going to be too important. You can just micro away and then go to a healing fountain or a priest or something. And Panda now coming straight back in this, but only 230 hit points. A bit of focus from water elementals and the Archmage and a bolt could really take it down if he's not careful. We'll have to see how this actually goes for him. And Mount King trying to chase down that Panda now. Panda, Archmage in a bit of trouble getting bolted and getting hit by the water